Have you ever noticed that being overly open with family can sometimes create more problems than it solves? As we grow older, we often feel the need to be completely transparent with our loved ones, believing that honesty strengthens relationships. But in reality, some things are best kept private, not because of secrecy, but because of wisdom. Not every detail needs to be shared, and in some cases, keeping certain matters to yourself can help maintain both your peace of mind and your relationships. In today's discussion, we're covering 5 things you may want to keep to yourself after turning 60. This isn't about being dishonest or shutting people out. It's about preserving your independence, avoiding unnecessary stress, and ensuring your personal boundaries are respected. You might be surprised at how much more peaceful life can be when you maintain a little privacy in key areas. Stick around until the end, because these 5 insights might change the way you interact with your family, helping you enjoy more freedom in your later years. 1. Financial matters and investments. Money becomes a sensitive topic as we age. You may think that being completely open about your financial situation with family will prevent misunderstandings, but often it does the opposite. Sharing too much about your savings, investments, or future plans can lead to unsolicited advice, pressure, or even family conflicts, especially when different generations have different perspectives on money. Some relatives may genuinely want to help, but their opinions can feel intrusive. And in some unfortunate cases, people who were once distant suddenly take a great interest in your finances once they realize what you have. You might have seen it happen. A friend shares details about their financial plans with their children, only to find their decisions constantly questioned. Suddenly, they're being told to downsize, invest differently, or set aside more money for future generations. It's one thing to ask for advice, but when people start believing they have a say in your personal choices, it can become exhausting. Once you share your full financial picture, you can't take that knowledge back. If your family begins to view you as someone who isn't making the best financial decisions, they might feel justified in stepping in, sometimes with good intentions, but not always in ways that respect your independence. You may start hearing comments like, "Are you sure you should be spending that much?" Or, "Wouldn't it be smarter to give some of that away now instead of later?" Even if no one directly pressures you, just knowing that others are watching and judging your choices can feel uncomfortable. This doesn't mean you should never discuss money with your family. It's important to have a clear estate plan and to communicate essential details at the right time. However, you don't need to share everything. How much you have, what you spend on yourself, or any new financial decisions you make. These are your choices to manage. If keeping certain financial details private allows you to enjoy your life without unnecessary opinions or pressure, then that's not secrecy. It's wisdom. 2. Minor health concerns that aren't urgent. As we grow older, it's common to experience more aches, pains, and minor health issues. Naturally, we may feel the urge to share these with our family. After all, they care about us, and we want them to stay informed. However, there's a difference between updating loved ones on important medical matters and overwhelming them with every small discomfort. Constantly discussing every minor ache or concern can sometimes do more harm than good. Instead of simply listening, family members may start to worry excessively, stress over things that aren't serious, or even take it upon themselves to make decisions for you before it's necessary. You might have experienced this before. You casually mention feeling a little more tired than usual, or that your joints ache, and suddenly you're caught in a debate about whether you need to see a specialist, change your diet, or try a new supplement. Younger family members in particular often have good intentions, but their concern can quickly turn into pressure. Before you know it, they're researching treatments, booking appointments, or making comments like, "You really need to take better care of yourself," as if you haven't been managing your own health for decades. There's also a psychological side to this. If you constantly bring up health issues, even minor ones, your family may start to view you as more fragile than you actually are. This shift in perception can be frustrating because suddenly people start treating you differently. They might hesitate to invite you to certain activities, question whether you should travel, or even suggest you need extra assistance, when all you did was mention that your knees were feeling a little stiff that day. Of course, it's crucial to communicate significant health concerns, especially those that affect daily life or require support. But choosing not to share every little issue doesn't mean you're being dishonest. It means you're maintaining control over your own well-being. You have the right to manage your health without unnecessary interference or stress. Sometimes, keeping quiet about minor concerns is the best way to preserve your independence. If you're still watching and finding this information helpful, type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Your support allows us to keep bringing you valuable content to help you live your best life. Now, let's move on to the next point. 3. Your honest opinions on family disputes. Family relationships can be complicated, and as we age, we often find ourselves caught in situations we never intended to be part of. Whether it's siblings clashing over an inheritance, grown children holding grudges, or extended relatives who simply don't get along. These conflicts are almost inevitable. With enough life experience, you start to notice familiar patterns, old arguments resurfacing, past wounds reopening, and history repeating itself. It's tempting to step in, offer advice, or make it clear who you think is right and who is wrong. But in most cases, doing so only makes things worse. You may have been in this position before, trying to help resolve an argument, only to have both sides turn against you. Or maybe you voiced a strong opinion, thinking it would bring clarity, but later realized your words were misunderstood. The hard truth is that family disagreements tend to resolve themselves, or they don't, regardless of your involvement. And when the dust settles, people rarely forget what was said in the heat of the moment. If you take sides or make your stance too clear, you may find that long after the conflict is over, the resentment toward you remains. This is especially true when it comes to opinions about younger family members. Making a remark about a son-in-law, a daughter's parenting choices, or a relative's life decisions may feel honest at the time, but those words tend to linger. People don't easily forget feeling judged or criticized, even when the intent was to be helpful. What seems like simple advice to you might feel like rejection to them, creating distance in relationships that may never fully heal. That's why one of the wisest things you can do as you get older is to practice selective silence. You don't have to agree with everything or ignore real issues, but you also don't have to comment on every family disagreement. Instead of sharing your opinion, sometimes the best response is a neutral one. I hope it all works out, or I trust you'll make the right choice. This keeps you connected without being dragged into conflicts that aren't yours to fix. Holding back certain thoughts can help maintain peace, not just within your family, but for yourself as well. 4. Your regrets about the past. As the years pass, it's natural to reflect on the choices we've made, the opportunities we've missed, and the paths we didn't take. Regret is something everyone experiences in one way or another, but that doesn't mean you need to share those feelings, especially with family. You might feel the urge to open up about things you wish had gone differently, whether it's decisions about your career, parenting choices, or personal relationships. But what you see as honesty and self-reflection can sometimes be misinterpreted by those closest to you. When parents or grandparents express regret, their children often take it personally. If you say, "I wish I had spent less time working and more time with family," your children might hear, "I wasn't a good enough parent." If you mention wishing you had moved to another city or pursued a different dream, they may feel like you're saying your life with them wasn't fulfilling, even if that's not your intention. These words can linger, leaving behind guilt or resentment that was never meant to be there. The same is true for past relationships. Even a casual mention of an old love can make a spouse or family member feel like they were second best. Reflecting on friendships that faded or missed opportunities can also change how people see you. Instead of remembering the strong, resilient person they've always known, they may start viewing you as someone stuck in the past. That's why some regrets are best kept private. It's okay to think about them, learn from them, and even process them in your own way. But constantly bringing them up to family doesn't change the past. It only adds an emotional weight to those who care about you. The past can't be rewritten, but how you carry it forward is entirely up to you. If you're still here and finding these insights helpful, type number 4 in the comments to let me know. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move on. 5. The full scope of your financial situation and money is often one of the most delicate subjects within a family. While it can strengthen relationships, it can just as easily cause tension, misunderstandings, or even conflicts. As you get older, you might feel the urge to be more transparent about your finances, whether that's discussing your savings, your financial plans for the future, or even any challenges you may be facing. While there are moments when sharing certain financial details makes sense, revealing too much can sometimes create unnecessary problems. One of the biggest risks of disclosing too much about your financial situation is that it can shift how people see you. If your family learns that you're financially comfortable, you might notice a change in how they interact with you, whether it's subtle hints about financial help or an increased interest in what they might inherit. On the other hand, if you share that you're struggling, your loved ones might start worrying excessively, or in some cases, even questioning the choices you make. Money has a way of influencing relationships, And once those dynamics change, it's hard to reverse. Another important factor is independence. The more your family knows about your finances, the more they may feel entitled to offer unsolicited advice or even make decisions for you. Some might believe they're helping, but in reality, they could be taking away your ability to manage your own affairs. Before you know it, you could find yourself being told where you should live, how you should spend your money, or what financial decisions are best for you, all because you shared details that might have been better kept private. Of course, this doesn't mean you should keep everything a secret. If you have a trusted financial advisor or someone managing your estate, it's wise to ensure that your plans are clearly documented. But beyond that, the best approach is often to share only what is necessary and nothing more. Keeping certain financial details private allows you to maintain control over your future while avoiding unnecessary stress, tension, or outside interference. If you've ever noticed how conversations about money can change the way people behave, you already understand why this is such an important area to be mindful of. At the end of the day, your finances are yours to manage, and maintaining privacy ensures that your family relationships remain built on genuine care and respect, rather than financial expectations. Final thoughts. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on the 5 things we've discussed. Keeping certain aspects of your life private isn't about secrecy or distancing yourself from loved ones. It's about protecting your peace of mind, your dignity, and your relationships. Not everything needs to be shared, and sometimes the wisest decision is knowing what to hold back. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever shared something with family only to realize later that it changed how they viewed you? Or perhaps there was a time you chose not to say something and later recognized it was the right call. Wisdom comes with experience, and as we grow older, we learn that some things are simply better left unspoken. One of the greatest gifts of aging is gaining clarity about what truly matters: your independence, your sense of peace, and the quality of your relationships. Being mindful of what you share allows you to maintain control over your own life while keeping the bonds with your loved ones strong. It's not about shutting people out. It's about preserving what makes those connections meaningful. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one insight you've gained today, or how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your thoughts matter, and reading your comments keeps us motivated to continue creating content that informs and inspires. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to keep bringing you valuable insights, and we appreciate every one of you who takes the time to be part of this community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.